viewers to set personal biases aside and put your emotions behind your screen. All opinions expressed on various topics does not intended to convey hate toward anyone or place. All our topics and conversations are designed to foster societal learning and growth through open-minded discussion. Viewers are encouraged to engage with a balanced perspective, supporting informed and open-minded.
This not daily rant to my people, but too loud make I give you simple. Street they talk but my heart they filter. Now I bring 'em raw daily rants. This not daily rant to my people, but too loud make I give you simple. Street they talk but my heart they filter. Now I bring 'em raw daily rants.
Hi viewers, welcome to another episode of your Daily Rant. Oh, so ladies and gentlemen, my name is Legs, if you don't know me, and I want to speak from the heart today. All right, I want to speak from the heart because I think it's quite important. Because one of the things that I've seen many times is we tend to like to talk a lot, and we talk. All we do, we just talk. We talk, but we don't put nothing into actions at all. We don't. So I've spent the last couple of hours basically. Give me a second, guys. I've spent the last couple of hours to basically took my time to formulate my thoughts so I can give you back something constructive. For those who don't know, there's a lot going on in within African community in Australia. And one of the things that I see that's quite often is that, especially on TikTok, there's a lot of talk. People like to talk a lot. And I do a lot of talking too. And what I mean by talking, I just say it's not about just talk. There needs to be some action behind those conversations. No, I don't have the solution to it. But I'm going to start this conversation today by addressing a couple of things that I think it's quite very important is getting us to this point. And the more silent we are, the more damage we're actually going to do to ourselves. And I think it's quite important if we can actually come together and actually have a discourse about this. It's extremely very important. So I'm going to talk about this today, and bear with me. Enjoy it. It's going to be a long live stream today, I promise you. It's going to be a long live stream. And I'm going to talk about a couple of things and the reason why I came to this conclusion and a suggestion I'm going to throw into it. Okay, because I want to come from a place of solution, not about picking side, which side it is, which side is not. And I'm going to share some videos about a couple of things that is happening so people can be informed. So it's not like I'm just picking out of my ass. So I give it to you from that perspective, and you can get it in and see exactly if it makes sense and if it doesn't make sense. Okay? I like to be fair. So if you guys can see that I'm not looking straight in the camera, it's not because I'm trying to be avoidance, but I just need to make sure I get everything that I needed here. So before I even start at all, because if you see the title of the thumbnail of the live stream, it's a perception of psychology that we Africans have for ourselves. I'm going to talk about that. Now, let's talk about solution first. Let's dive in straight into solution bucket. Let me share my screen with you. And this is what I could think of at the moment right now. Now, before you judge me, you think the solution is not best enough, or it's not well put together the way you want it to be put together. I just want to remind you, at least I created something. What have you done? Because it's one of those things that Africans really love to do. We want the solution to be offered to us like you serving it on a plate. That all the angles need to be covered, everything needs to be addressed perfectly. That is when people tend to want to act on it. Okay? So I'm going to give it to you in a different way. Actually, let me use the screen. Give me a second, guys. I promise you the conversation is not going to be boring. All right, let me use this one. Let's start with the solution first, because that's what people want to know. If this guy really knows what he's talking about. So, this is my number one solution that I'm thinking about. If we can get these on board, and I think it's going to help a lot. Because the issues that we face in Melbourne, in Australia, in terms of African community, it's way much more deeper than that. And one of the things that people like to do is that when there's a situation like this, people like to, finger point and blame and all these things. So this is my solution to what I think could be helpful. This is my solution. And the reason why I say building African mental health access to people is because this is what we actually need. Because if you want to get a grant from the government to help the young generation with all the mental struggles and challenges they have every day, this is what we need to do. Each state in Australia, they need to build a medical center strictly employed by Africans, psychologists, doctors, just name it. And I'll tell you what, this is not to try to throw a divide, okay? This is not for division at all. I said mental health professional. I didn't do psychologist. So I'm combining all of them together. Why? Because if you're born from the mother soil, okay, which is Africa, when you want to have this so-called mental health conversation or whatever it is, people tend to want to lean to it a little bit more because they can see the other person is talking to me. It looks exactly just like me. There's a familiarity that comes with it. As long as I can feel like this person that's looking at me, he's not going to look at me differently. Because psychologically, we are cooked and I'm going to get there. This is my solution to a lot of the issues that we have in Australia in relates to the African communities. This is exactly what we need. When you find the help first before you go and look for money. There's always this mentality that you need to go get money first. No. Find the help first. Then go seek the money. Then make it accessible to every African in Australia and allow community access. If every other community wants, they see that a practice work and it's good for them, okay, they can come into and join. But the core of the center is going to be an African-led, African doctors, African psychologists, African physiotherapists, African. Why? I'll tell you why. Trust me. Why? Especially the psychologists, the counselors, they need to be African. If you really want to help these young kids, my humble opinion, this is what they need. All right? This is what they need. Because if they don't have this as a good support, they will struggle. No more chlorine funding. No, I tell you why. Somebody said in the chat that no more chlorine funding. It's not chlorine funding. Because you got to look at it this way. There is a lot of issues that we have. But the right help, it's not there to support. And you can see what I said. I said allow community access. I'm not trying to divide it that nobody else cannot. but the place should be built specifically. Do you know there's a lot of African kids at the juvenile center? When have you known to have young black men? I know society, they always do crime. It's always negative stereotypes that they get every time. And you can't paint all brush. You can't paint every canvas with one brush. If you do, it will just look the same. Because, my humble opinion, this is what we're going to need in Australia to help the young men, because they need some familiarities. And let me say one other thing again. The women in most of this African community, they have been the forefront for a lot of issues that's going on. They've been the voice. They speak out the loudest. And I seriously don't understand. Why are we, the men, extremely very quiet about this? And every week in Melbourne, in Australia here, an African kid is doing something dumb, hanging out with wrong friends, that is going to lead them to a path of destruction. Every day. I know one of the conversations I had once was, it's Australia, you're not supposed to hit your kids. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. Well, each to their household, they can decide whatever they want to do. But there's something that seems to be extremely, like it's basically the same. What is the solution then? Because you can't be too firm on your kids, because apparently it's going to push them away. Okay. But what are we, the men, doing about it? Because the women are constantly out there seeking help, talking about it, screaming, we need help. We need help. At the start of this year, there was a boy that got unalive in a fight, in a fight. And this boy got unalive because someone fought him in a bus, something. There was a massive rally, protest. And guess what? A couple of months later, the same situation is happening again. And if everything goes wrong in any community, anytime it involves any African, the very first people who always think that is responsible is South Sudanese boys and girls. And that is not true. They are not the only one here in Australia. They are not. Because it just gets to the point whereby when we have a lot of problems, all we do is we just want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And I'm tired of talking. What actions are we taking about these situations? And what are we doing to help? So I bring you my own concept and what I think about this and why it's extremely important. Because the days of us just talking about problems, it needs to be over. This is time for us to actually bring up some solution. And this is my solution, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you can judge me. You can say it's a bad idea. You can say it's not going to work. You can give it 5 billion reasons why it's not. But look at what I said. Find African, born, raised, mental health professional that will help these young boys and girls to sway them away. Before I dig into the psychology and the perception of what we have and what we think about ourselves, I'm showing you the solution that I've come with. Now, is it going to work? I don't know. Because we don't even know yet. We haven't even tried it yet. So, if you want to judge me, if you want to insult me, if you want to say my ideas are not intelligent enough, okay. How about you create yours? Come with a solution. Because one thing that I'm extremely tired of is that we just talk. All we do is just talk. I present to you my solution. What are we going to do now? So, another thing again, if you know any doctors, psychologists, counselors, we need to start acquiring their consent for them to want to be part of this project. This project could help and solve a lot of issues. In fact, it's going to help with all the misconception about what the society have about us as Africans, especially living in Australia or living anywhere else in the world. Because if you think by any chance that as soon as you and I get outside of that door, they don't see us as you're Sudanese or you're Congo or you're from Uganda. No, they see an African. They see us together. We are all the same thing. Because what? They paint us with the same brush. Don't get it twisted. That is just the truth. It might irritate you. It might make you mad. You might think, why would they do that? No. Keep forgetting about that. Just stick to the point. You are looked a certain way, and that's exactly what it is. Nothing is going to change. The only thing that's going to change is the image and the perception that everybody sees us as Africans. Because I'm going to, oh God, it's going to be raw tonight. Raw and unfiltered. I give it to you hot. And I'm going to preface a lot. I'll say a lot of things before I irritate a lot of people. So I'm just warning you now. If you know this conversation that I'm having this morning and whatever else you're watching from, if you know you cannot take it as an African, you need to move on and watch it later. Because it's going to be hot. Now, like I said again, I'm starting with a solution. Because this is the part of the conversation that is not going to be cropped, that is not going to be taken. My words will be taken out of context and people are going to come for me. And I'm ready. Come, I'll tell you the truth. This is my solution to what is going to help the African community in Australia. We need to find help first. Don't go look for money. Find help. When we find these doctors, we find these mental health professionals, then we go seek funding. After when we get funding, then make it accessible to every African. This is not just for South Sudanese alone or Kenyan alone or Zimbabweans alone. No, this is for every African living in Australia. They need to have access to this. Because that is the core of where I'm going with this conversation. Like I said, it's going to irritate you. It will piss you the fuck up. But buckle up. I'm going to unleash. All right. Let's get it. Let me show you, for those who don't know. I think if I can find some of the videos. These are the young boys and girls. This has been in the news. So I'm not FYP. Trigger warning, please. I just want to warn you before I show this video. Please shout out to the families of these two young boys who are unalive. Okay? And this is in our community here, the African community here. And I'll tell you why this really pisses me off and it fucking irritates me. Excuse my French. There's going to be a lot of that tonight. Because Nigeria is jumping out of me. Maybe it's because of this coffee. But I'll speak to you why this really hurt me. Because number one, we have become a society of some of the most degenerate individuals that this world has ever produced. Because the value of life now, it doesn't mean shite to nobody. The value of life doesn't mean nothing anymore. People see value of life like it's like when you're just trying to quench a butterfly. On to the next one. Every of these kids that have been unalive for the start of this year to where we are right now, do you know some of them could have invented things that could have helped change the world? We get to the perception thing. Now, let me show you these videos. I didn't want to play the original video. I found the one that I can find just to share to highlight some of the conversation I want to have. All right.
This is not on the international news, you guys. Please share it boy here, he's only 12 years old. Now this boy is 15 years old. They've both been brutally attacked by 8 boys, and police are still looking for them. This little kid here, he looks like he can't even harm anyone. I don't know how anyone will do anything to him. So this incident happened in Melbourne on Saturday evening. Both of these 2 boys went to a basketball game and they got off a bus, and then all of a sudden they were ambushed. They started running for their lives. Now this boy here was seen on CCTV where he was being chased down by 3 boys, and one of them had some kind of weapon which he threw at the boy, and the boy was hit. It was on the ground. I can't even imagine. This is like horrible. Now a neighbor heard this boy screaming, then she ran to him to check on him, and he was on the ground with the worst injuries you could ever imagine. And this young boy here, Dao, was also found in another street where he had horrific injuries. Now sadly both of these kids are unalive. The South Sudanese community in Melbourne are in shock. We cannot believe what happened to these kids. Now the police are still looking for 8 individuals, and they believe this could have been a mistaken identity or something.
So I'm not doing this. I'm gonna take them off the screen because I'm not looking for clout. I'm looking for precise conversation that needs to be had. Let me share a different kind of screen, because the core of what I think the issue has always been is that we Africans, we don't really want to talk about the things that we should talk about, because we like to pass the responsibility to someone else for the things that we should be addressing. Let me share this other screen. Let me put this one here. Actually, no, wait. Hold on. Let me share another. This is the news that came with that video. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. If you don't want to see these, please just step away for a second. And let me share with you.
New laws will come too late for a heartbroken family in Melbourne's West as they mourn the loss of 2 murdered boys. Detectives today made a major breakthrough in the homicide investigation, arresting 13 people, the youngest just 15.
Heartache.
I don't know. I can't watch it. Sorry, guys. I can't. No. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Now, let's talk real talk. I thought my red glasses was here, but he's not. Let's have a real talk. There's 2 main core things I really want to address. Now, first of all, let's start. What is perception, ladies and gentlemen? What is perception? Or what is psychology, rather? It's that psychology tries to understand why people think the way they think, feel the way they feel, and do things they do, right? That's what psychology was for. Okay, let's get deeper. Jesus Christ. This morning coffee is killing me. Where's my other screen? There you go. Share this one. Perception. Perception, the process by which we interpret and make sense of sensory information from the world around us. You see, the way we see things, the way we smell, the things that we hear, and the things that we say, and the actions that we take. All this information is passed through your brain. That way, you can process it and develop a perception about someone. There's been all kind of different kind of books about how you get to know someone and how quickly you can decide if you like them or if you don't like them. Some people say it's 5 seconds. Some people say it's 90 seconds. Some people say it's 5 minutes. Some people say it's 5 days. It doesn't matter. Now, Lex, where are you going with this? Hang in there. This perception is one of the issues that we Africans have for ourselves. You see, the one that I can highlight the most is the hearing one. See, the ones that we hear, I want to highlight it. Why? When you hear something about someone, about somewhere or something, without you seeing it, it's going to create a perception for you. And this element here is one of the biggest issues we have in us as humans. What we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we say, and what we do with our hands. So, I've been in Australia now for a few years, and there's been a lot of things I've heard about South Sudanese community, African community. There's been ups, there's been down, there's been this, he said this, he says that. I don't want to make them the core of this conversation because I want to talk to you as an African. If you're an African, if you're watching me right now, I want you to buckle up. All these issues that we have in our community is all of our fault. We are all responsible for all this nonsense that is happening in the African community in Australia. Yes, I said it. Get mad all you want. I don't care. All the issues that we have in Australia, yeah, it's all our fault. Because one of the things that it seems to be very important to a lot of people when they get to Australia like this, they just want to walk. Walk, make money. Walk, make money. We're having kids that not get supervised properly. We having kids by people that we shouldn't be having kids with. We having kids in most cases. We can't even be in the life of the kids. Sometimes could be the mom, sometimes could be the dad. Now, a lot of people have made a lot of mistakes that lead them to be a parent. Unfortunately, sometimes it's out of their control, sometimes it's in their control. But the bottom line is that we're here now. What do we do about it? Okay? What do we do about it? Because the perception that we have for ourselves as Africans, when I was growing up, my understanding is that it takes a whole village to raise a child. Because if we live in a reality, an utopian reality, when we see kids doing things that is incorrect or wrong, as an elder person, you should be able to say, hey, get your shit out of there. Get your shit together and do this or do that or go home. Another thing that I've heard so many times that people like to blame the government. People say it's the government's fault. Government is not allowing them to take care of the kids, this and that. Which one do you prefer? Your sons or your daughters getting on a life in the middle of the street like chickens? Or you want to whoop their ass and let them get their shit together? Do you even know who your friends' kids are? Do you know the kind of friends they hang around? Do you know the things that they do? No, you don't. But you're ready to pick the next shift. You're ready to go and do the next, go to your 9 to 5. You're busy stressing yourself about your Instagram post or how much followers you have on TikTok. You're thinking about the next bag. But the real wealth that we have is the kids. Nobody cares about them. Nobody really cares. The parents that really care about the kids, you will tell the difference. You will tell the difference between the kids that actually invest a lot of time in the kid's life. You can tell like night and day. You will tell. It's only in Africans, as Africans, that I see that the things that we should make it the most important thing is the things we don't give a shit the most. We don't care. But we can easily point fingers at the reason why. We will blame everything else but ourselves. Because in the life of me, when does a 15, 13, 16, 17-year-old boy and girls playing with knives? Let that sink in for a second. You know, one of the pushback and feedback I get most of the time is that, oh, you know, these kids you cannot raise them the way you raised them. How come you turn out good that you're still alive, that you can walk around with your iPhone 14 or 15 or 16 or 17, your Samsung Galaxy that you can walk around with, or whatever phone you have in your hand? We need to change our perception away from the most stupidest things that we waste a lot of time on doing. Because kids are getting on life every day. Kids are having less supervision every day. Now, it could be your kid next. It could be my kid next. What do we do about it? If you find out tomorrow that your son or your daughter is going to be unalive, but you can prevent it, what would you do? I'm sure many mothers and fathers will say, I'm happy to lay my life for my kids. How about don't lay your life for your kids? How about you lay your time for your kids? Now, most of these homes, yes, sometimes you find there's no father at home or there's no mother at home. And that is why community is important. You see, that is why community is extremely important. And when I say community, this is where the whole thing that I put out the other time, okay? Where is it? Give me a second, guys. Where's my phone box again? Where's it again? No, I think it's still here. Aha. This is why I said this is very important. You see that? This is why I said this is extremely important, because this is what we need. Because you have a lot of kids that doesn't have either of the parent at home, and they need support. This will actually help. Because as soon as I posted, someone was telling me that they don't need more funding for this and that. Yes, I get it. You know, you don't know exactly what it feels like, so you wouldn't understand. So I'm not even going to try to go back and forth with you. Because it's kind of sad that we've getting to this point that I don't need to over-explain myself to anyone who's not going to get it. Because you're looking at it from the place of money. I'm looking at this from the place of these kids needs help. Because another one of the excuses that you should come up is that, oh, you know, these kids, they come from a single parent home. That is why, yada, yada, dee. Okay, fine. So where is the support going to come from? Where is the support going to come from for those who don't have either parents at home? You understand? Another thing again is that I'm extremely tired of is that who is going to raise your kids from you or for you? When does it become the obligation of the government to raise your kids for you? We are costing the government more money because we are not being there for our kids. You understand? I never understand the life of me where a 15, 16 years old have this gang-shaped mentality to want to have a gang. We used to play outside. We used to play football in the street of Africa. This is why this prompt you can see right now says building African mental access to Africans. Because, for instance, it's go and get money. One of the things that I see there is kind of very insulting and very stupid is that most of the time people will just want to go look for money and slap money on every problem. There is no planning. There is no planning. There is no foresight. There is no thinking. People just want to just react to things. There is no thinking at all. So ask yourself, if we can get a good funding, we can find mental health professional. Mental health professional. Then, once we acquire all these people and they said, okay, they're happy to work, they're happy to do this, then let's go seek funding. When we get funding, let's open up a center. This center is going to be big enough that we try it in one state. We use one state as a test to see exactly what kind of problems it's going to generate and how we're going to tackle it. Once it works properly and it's functioning, then let's go apply it in another state. Like that, we know Melbourne is talking to Sydney because Melbourne and Sydney have the same access, same information about what's going on. So in case, if any kid wants to migrate from here to go to Sydney, they can still have the same support over there. But where are the African leaders? The only thing they like to do is do extra shift. They need to make that money. They need extra shift. Oh, yeah. I need to. But they can go and build house back in Africa. Or one of the ones that I heard they always like to do as Africans is that they will leave their wife here and the kids. They'll go back to Africa and go marry another woman. Then they'll bring that one here too. Then they'll repeat the same cycle. One thing, let's go back to Africa. And you will turn around. Because one thing that I'm tired of is that people just like to talk. Talk. Is it? Solution is here now. You see, people will come and start insulting me. How dare you talk about South Sudanese people? Who are you? That's what's going to come from this. Because majority of these kids, yes, some of them, not all, some of them come from a single parent home. What? Does that mean we should just throw them into the wolves? What support? What is the real support assistance there were? I spoke to a young man once. And there was a conversation was around, you're going to get therapy. Look at me, like a typical African boy. Say, bro, it's therapy. What am I going to do with therapy? Oof, what is therapy going to do for me? I say, yeah, I understand what you mean, bro. I do. I get it. Who needs therapy? Nobody. But imagine where I grew up in a time whereby when I go to a stranger's home, when they offer you food, you need to seek permission first from your mom, from your dad, before you can take the food from a stranger. I bet you if you take the food without getting the permission from them, when you get home, you will vomit all that thing that you ate. Because we had appropriate fears for our parents. This generation, none. Nothing. If looks could unalive you, some kids will look at you. You would think you just need to crawl into the ground and disappear. Now, this community access is something that we shouldn't even need in the first place. I'm wrapping it up a little bit. This community access, we shouldn't even need it. Why? Because I should be able to see your son, your daughter doing something inappropriate outside as a fellow African from another motherland to say, hey, what? No? Psst, oh yeah. I'll call your mother now or I'll call your father now. So, I am an African man and I am proud to be so. I'm a Nigerian. And I'm loud. I don't give a shit. It can irritate you. I don't give a shit. But this is one thing that never changes. And this is another part of it that I'll lean this to men. See, fellas, we can take jabs at women for saying this, doing that. It still comes down to you as a man to wear your pants and stop wasting your time scrolling to Instagram, looking at all those fine yash. Looking at TikTok, looking at the ones you want to slide right into it. We have to get our perception of ourselves. We need to take it out of our balls. All right? Pause. We need to get to the point whereby we need to understand. A day is going to come. Your son, my daughter, your son, they're going to collide together. What world do you think they're going to produce? We are the generation that is allowing a lot of dysfunction because all the work that those people did before you and I came to existence, we have completely dropped the bar because we think that there's nothing we can do because we've been told, we've been given a perception that the government is supposed to do this, the government is supposed to do that. What do you think the government is going to do? They're just going to slap money on it. And let's go to the degenerate part of Africans too, which is something that we do very well. See, one of the biggest cardinal problem for Africans is always been greed. Greed. Africans are greedy. They want to drive the next Range Rover. They want to drive the next Mercedes. This is why the kids are unaliving in the middle of the street every day. Because our mentality, the constant need to fight for us not being poor, for us to want to look like we're living the best life, we will sacrifice it for the kids. Until the kids get unalive in the middle of the street, until the kids, until they don't even know how to do 1 + 1. Do you guys understand? This is the last time we're going to have any resemblance of intelligence in the world. Do you guys know that? This Gen A or Gen A plus or whatever they call themselves, that is it. Because the next generation after that, cognitive thinking is completely gone because everything will be run and controlled by AI. You guys don't think that far. You want to buy that sneaker. You need to look good. Oof. You need to make that bitch work. Those are the things we think about. The life of the thing that comes out of you, you don't even give a shit about it. Then you're expecting the government to come and help you. What do you think, what resources do you think the government is going to give you to help you raise your kids? What? Tell me, how is the government supposed to help you raise your kids if you can't raise it by yourself? So, did the government ask you to get pregnant? The government came and told you that you need to, make baby for us, make baby for us. This is why I said, it's us. We are the problem. We've always been the problem. That is the core factual part of it. Now, I don't want to compare, but I want to make an example. The Chinese immigrants, they migrate just as well as every other people on the planet of this earth. It's China, it's India, and Africans. Those are the 3 most migrated people on the planet of this earth. Do Chinese communities have their own issue? Absolutely. You best believe they have their issues. But how often do you see them in the news? About there's a gang of Chinese teenagers terrorizing the community. So gotta ask yourself, what is it that the Chinese culture do very well. When you dive into the culture, you get to see the way that they raise their kids. Doesn't mean we ain't raised right, but you can learn. No. Hey, telling an African person that they cannot raise their kids. It's like you're trying to insult them. But if they're smart, they will kind of reach out. Hey, the Chinese community, how do you guys do it? What do you guys do that I can take? Do you want to understand? Let me give you another broken news that you don't know. Do you know the Chinese community and African community? There's not a lot of differences. But there is one thing that they have, is that they have a lot of authority over their children. Because most Chinese family, they don't do a lot of a single parents mindset. They don't. And I know we can hold men accountable. Ladies, hold yourself accountable too. Hold yourself accountable too, ladies. Hold your freaking self accountable. I know this is not a conversation that you guys like. Because one of the things that I've said many times, as a man, pull out. It's not rocket science. It still works. In fact, it's more protective than condom. Pull out. Don't make a child with someone that you know for a fact you don't want to be with. It's the worst decision you will ever make for the rest of your life. Because once you make a child, you can't unmake the child. The child is there, you have to face it. It is what it is. So what do? Because one of the things that I've seen that is so consistent in our community is that we always like to point the fingers at other people. We want to blame other people for the choices and actions that we take every day. Why do I need to go seek government assistance when you don't even like me as a fellow African? For me to say, hey, Mama Daniel, listen, your son I've seen your son there, he's doing this, he's doing that. You need to talk to him. Or give me the access for me to discipline when I see him outside. Oh, they're gonna arrest you. Oh, if you do this, it's against the law. So let me ask you a question. I don't think people really understand. So which one do you think is better? Your son or your daughter at the back of the jail or in a juvenile center, or a little smack in the head from auntie or uncle to tell him to get his shit and move and go back home to get away from bad friends? Which one do you think is better? And the next stupid thing they're going to talk about is that, oh, you're going to give them a lot of trauma. Yes, we are the most traumatized people on the planet of this earth. And I've said it many times. It ain't even close. But every scripture, everything, every old knowledge you can find on the planet of this earth talks things about discipline. An undisciplined child is a child that is going to cause chaos in the life of a parent. So, before you insult me, because people get very triggered when I talk, before you insult me, this is my solution. That is my solution right there. Oh, let me do this. I'm not trying to do a gangster. I'm trying to show you where the destiny is. This is my solution. Let's go identify within the African community, the African born and raised mental health professional. Okay? These guys, let's after we find it, let's find a lot of them and go seek government fund and build a space for African health clients or crisis, whatever you want to call it whatever you want to call it. But the core function of the place is that where all these young boys and girls, they can go to seek help from people that look like them, sound like them, act like them, because that is one part of psychology that they will never tell you. He said it's in your DNA, ladies and gentlemen. See, there is no DNA for psychological footprint. You cannot take your blood and they examine it into your brain and trying to trace it, your DNA. your brain is showing us, because we are just different. And the way we look at life, the way we look at things is just different. It's just different. It doesn't matter if you know it all, you don't know it all. Just the way we've been raised. It's just like, I think I was listening to this in Washington once. They talked about, somebody asked him that, should have won a lot of Oscars and whatever it is. I think he said something along the line that, imagine him being in The Godfather. The movie will be good, but the movie won't, it's not gonna. But when he did American Gangsters and play Frank Lucas, you can see he was Frank Lucas. While Pacino did very well in The Godfather, because it was just different culture, different ideology, different mentality. That is how you approach things. That is my solution. Okay? Because I'm tired of seeing all these people on TikTok. All these glorified public speakers. I call them grown-ass babies with a phone in their hand. Because all they like to do is just talk and talk and talk and talk. Solution. Let's see if it's going to be applied or taken on board. Now, hold your insult yet, because I ain't done. Now, I've spoken about the kids. Let me talk about the elders now. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. Get your shit together. You see, in the spirit of providing for yourself and for your family, it's quite very important. You need to. But you got to ask yourself a different kind of question. All this money that you're trying to acquire, all these extra shifts that you're doing. So are you making all this money so you can provide for your kids? Or are you doing this because you want to go build a house in the village? Or you want to buy more stocks? Or you want to buy more this, you want to buy more that? No. Some of the times, as parents, there is this mindset that it's money that's going to fix a lot of things, because sometimes I found some of these kids, they just need someone to just be part of their life. Now, if you as a single mom or single dad, you don't have support system, what kind of family do you have? You understand? What kind of family do you have? If you don't have a family, okay, if you can't for your family back in Africa, okay, what about friendship? What about peer groups? What kind of community access do you have? Do you know the organization here in Melbourne that could help address all these sort of things? But do you ever see their names? You have to kind of Google search. And even when you call, they're not even going to pick up, because the place is not functionally run properly. This is why it's so easy for Africans to be disrespected, because the perception of what the world thinks about us is one of the issues why we're suffering. Because it's only as Africans that you get a job somewhere, or you'll be doing your job, and people will look at you like you're stupid, like you need to prove to them. You have to prove to them that you're smart enough for you to keep your job. And that is the ugly side of it. Super ugly. The next one I want to talk about, because I want to get out of it. It's a very sensitive. I want to show some videos, but I thought about it. There's something about me personally is that I do not like to bring horrible news and trying to use it for content. It doesn't sit well with me. Because if I want to, I would have gone viral a long time ago. Because there's a lot of content that I can use to go viral. I don't want that. I've said it right from the day that I started doing my content. It's gonna be based on what really matters. And by that, there's a lot of things you're gonna avoid. There's a lot of things I have an opinion in terms of what I can share my thoughts on. I just don't do it. It's not because I'm scared. It's just because there's not even need. Every situation that happens on the planet of this earth, I'm just like you have a mobile phone. I get all the notifications the same way you get it. Now, sometimes I'll say some things that you completely 100% disagree with, and that's completely fine. You should be able to disagree with me. That's completely fine. I'm not mad about it at all. All right? I want us to come to the place of discourse. Nobody wants to end up like Charlie Kirk. Okay? God forbid. Moving on. The next conversation I want to have, I'm just actually forgot to create it, but I'll do it while we're talking. You see, at the place of work, be very careful, fellas. Fellas and ladies too, be careful. You see, one of the biggest fear you will have in your life is when you work in a business whereby he say, she say enough can get you fired. If you're not extremely careful, you will lose your job because one of your coworkers does not like you. Or you're trying to hold them to a different standard. They will bitch and snitch behind your back to trying to get you fired. That's what people like to do. But I'm saying this because I can talk about this. And I'll share my thought on this one. If you're working anywhere, be extremely careful who you work with. Because I promise you, there are a lot of people that at work, they can't wait to snitch on you. Don't trust people you work with. Don't. I'm not trying to fearmonger you. I'm just telling you the fact. Because at the slightest chance they get, they will throw you under the bus. They will throw you under the bus to protect themselves. You got to understand, huh? We live in a doggy world, like they say. Listen, it's all about survival. And people are ready to do whatever it takes for them to survive. Don't get it twisted. One of my biggest flaws as an individual is that I'm learning every day. I'm still learning. Is that when you're too trusting as a person, you meet all kind of crazy weirdos and some psychos and some messed up people every day. You have to be extremely careful. You have to be extremely careful who you trust. Because don't get it twisted. At the place of work, fellas, let me talk. I'm not even going to create any problem. I'll talk straight. Fellas, be careful where you work as a man. Because there's a lot of cry me a river at work. They'll cry me a river and blame you for everything that's going on in their life. Fellas, I'll say again one more time. Be extremely careful where you work. You see, that coworker that you have that is very nice, that you guys share to banter or whatever it is, I promise you, the slightest chance for them see a promotion or they're looking to excuse themselves away from responsibility, they will throw you under the bus. That quick. They will throw you under the bus. Loyalty at work is like you walking on the knife that they can stab you with at any time that they want. Don't get it twisted. Loyalty doesn't mean shite. Work, do your job, get paid, and go home. It's just that simple. Don't get it twisted. Now, let me give you a version from the women. And I want to start by saying is that this is coming from the little knowledge that I have. I am not a professor. I don't know it all. And I'm not supposed to get it all. So take this however you see it and marinate on it however you want. So if you look back in time, there used to be a time that a lot of men have made a lot of women felt uncomfortable at work. Let me take off my glasses. You guys can see my face. That's something about me. When I have conversation, I don't hide or trying to. No, I'll say it to your face. See, if you at work. No, let's go back. Back in those days, a lot of men have made a lot of women felt so uncomfortable at work. To the point, some women, when they go to work, the fear of even being in that place, they can't wait to finish the shift and go home. For all sort of things, abuse, group, mistouching, you understand? The sexualization of work and everything. Absolutely motherfuckingly. Okay? And a lot of women have struggled with that. Some of them are still struggling with till today. Till today, they're still struggling with it every day. The same thing goes through with men. You as a guy, you're attractive or you're not attractive. You're told you're short, it doesn't matter. Be extremely very careful. I'm not trying to fearmonger you to teach you to be scared or whatever. I'm just telling you exactly what it is. Be extremely very careful. The ones that you smile with every day, the ones that you think they're cool with you, those are the ones that you need to be the most scared of. Because at every little chance they get, they will fucking throw you under the bus. They will shove you right there. Because for them, it's the only way they can protect themselves and keep their job. So, one of the most painful thing you can find out is that the person that you think you can actually trust, when you turn behind your back and stab you in the back, oh, that shit hurts. I'm not going to lie. That shit hurts differently. Because one of those things that they do is that they will make it extremely very difficult for you to ever even want to be at work. And I'm saying this because it's one of those things that I've seen and that I've observed. There seems to be a lot of this going on. Another thing again that I'm going to say, and I'm going to say this, I ain't scared at all. I am not. And I can talk. This is the one. If you as a black man, if you walk with every other culture, be extremely careful, bro. I promise you. If they don't look like you, be extremely careful. Because they're looking at you with a whole different kind of microscope. Because number one, they want to know how do you even get the job. Number two, they want to know how intelligent you are. Number three, they want to know how well you're even going to keep your job. Every slightest mistake that you make as a black man working in an organization whereby there's a lot of multiracial culture, I promise you, you got to watch your freaking back. Because I promise you, they are watching you. You have a different microscope. It's called a different lens. They have a different lens for you. Because they are watching everything that you're doing. At any little slightest time, they will throw you under the bus. It's what they do. Now, as a black man, working in an organization with a Caucasian man or Caucasian woman, be extremely careful too. Because I promise you, bro, the day that they stop liking you, ooh, you're done. You're done. Don't get it twisted. This is how corporate world works. Listen. Your resume is not what got you the job. No. Your resume just got you to the door. What gets you the job was your people skills. And one of the things that I've seen that's quite common in any businesses and any organization, a lot of people, they don't have great business skills. Or people skills, rather. One of the most idiotic terms that I've ever heard is called a people's manager. A people's manager without people's skills is just a liability for the HR department, because there's going to be all kind of complaints that comes with it. Oh, yeah. A lot. When you don't have people's skills, you don't survive in any kind of organization. You will not. Because you don't have people's skills at all. And I'm saying this by saying that if he hits you, if you think I'm talking about you, then that's your problem. You as a black man working in an organization whereby, let's say for instance, there's a lot of Caucasian people there, and there's a lot of you work around women, be extremely careful, bro. Don't get it twisted, man. This is not a fear mongering. I'm just telling you what actually it is. Be extremely careful, because one of those days that those ladies stop liking you, they would throw you under the bus. That is when for some reason you find out that you guys will banter, you play already before, then out of something, you're making her feel uncomfortable because she's a married woman or because she's engaged. Then that is when this thing begins. Because you want to know. Because the HR department will need to investigate to know that why is your hand touching the cookie jar? That's what usually happens. So you as a man, especially as a black man, be extremely careful when you work in any kind of organization whereby there's a lot of multiracial or whatever it is. They are watching with a different kind of scope, bro. Don't get it twisted. They are watching you. Everything that you do is magnified by 5,000%. Because you are not supposed to be in a place like that, number one. And I've seen it many times. And you meet someone, they will weigh you up straight away. They will kind of access you. Then the next thing is that they will put you in a box. In that box, you better excel from that box, because if you never do, they will not have a need for you no more. This is why I've said many times that I don't get mad about some things, because if there's a place whereby owned and run by someone that looks like me, there's a lot of things that we will not be having in this world. To break it in a nutshell, if you are someone that like to consume things and you don't like to create or produce, now you are at the mercy of whoever is producing the items for you. Because until we have to shape our mind and change our perception about how we see things in so many ways, we will avoid a lot of things that we face every day. And that is a fact. So I want to challenge you, if you watch this later on, if you stick to this, how long this video has been so far, you ask yourself, are you a consumer or you a creator? Now, when I say creator, I'm not talking about creating content. I'm talking what quality jobs or services are you providing that the world needs? Because that's another thing again. People don't want to talk about this. See, we have turned to become a society of consumers. All we do is just buy. Now, AI is here now to replace our thinking. Now, we wouldn't even be able to think. We would just search, I think something we just put it on AI. AI, make it for me. That's what we're going to turn to. Then we can turn around and say, it's not exactly what I thought it's going to be. No, because you don't think anymore. Okay? I'm just saying. Let me go back to that point. Fellas, and ladies too. All right? You see, one thing that I despise with every core that makes me human being is for you to lie about something that didn't happen. I'm telling you, I will never ever trust you again. Never. If you ever lie about something that never happened to you and you trust somebody under the bus, I wouldn't even want to see you around me for 1 second. If I ever work with you and you throw me under the bus and lie on me on something I didn't do, I will never respect you. I will never trust you. I will never utter any other word to you. I will see you like a plague that I need to walk away from every time I see you. You best believe that. Because ladies and gentlemen, this is how I measure trust. You know, when you meet someone, you take your trust, like, I don't trust you. You need to show me that I need to give you a trust. Okay? So, which means it could be 1 year, 2 years, however long that relationship lasted, right? Me, I'm the other end. You want me to trust you? No problem. As soon as I meet you, I'll take that trust. I give it to you. I'll give it to you straight away. Because the burden of me waiting for you to betray me, I'll put it on you. I won't put it on me. I'll give it to you. Because the day you decide to break my trust, I'll happily take it back from you. You ain't getting it back. You best believe it. I'm not giving it back to you. Never. I'm never going to give it back to you again. Because that's how I measure trust. Now, this is not from a textbook or where the educated ones. You know, there's a little context behind it. You get to shut the fuck up. This is how I measure trust. You see that you have it? Or I give it to you. I give it to you straight away. Do whatever you want to do with it. But just remember, you break my trust, you're never getting it back. I'm never going to give it back to you. I will never see you the same way. Because one of the things that I've seen in most businesses is that once someone stops liking you, they make you feel uncomfortable about yourself to the point that even if it's not true, you will find a way to kind of relieve them around you. So which means if it takes you to the point whereby you're going to lie on someone, you would do it just because they make you feel uncomfortable because you stop liking them for whatever reason. Now, what you're showing me right there is that you're trying to take food off my plate. So which means you're going to lie on me so I can lose my job. So that way it will make you feel good because I'm gone. Oh, bitch, hell no. I'm going to squeeze you like a mother sucker. I'll squeeze you. But with a smile. So fellas, watch out. I said it. I ain't stalling. I'm not. Be extremely careful when you work in an organization. When there's women there, if women walk around you, be extremely careful. Because when they stop liking you, I'm telling you, they will throw you under the bus. Because they just need to say that you touch them on the shoulder or you look at them a certain, just a look alone could get you fired today. Because women don't lie. They always tell the truth. Women do not lie. They don't lie at all. Women lie. There's a lot of cases out there that you can find out. A lot of men, ladies, sometimes you guys don't understand. Like, it's just the same thing that happens to men. Why a lot of women do not trust men, because it's from past experiences. Hurt people will hurt other people. It's just the way it is. But the ones that you need to think about is that why is it that most of the time women see men a certain way, and it's extremely valid because we have some of the most sadistic men this world has ever produced, hands down. And you do something wrong, you actually do it wrong, and they find you guilty, and it's actually true. Not like somebody's falsifying information just to try to make sure that. There was a video I saw a couple of months ago. I don't want to show the video because it's too sad. There was a woman. I'm sure people will know this video. Go and check it. Go and find it online already. There was a woman who lied on her husband, saying that her husband was touching their daughters inappropriately for 15 years. This is a mother of a child. You think if a mother of a child can do that, you think they can't do it to you at work? Yikes. Don't get it twisted, bro. That's your friend that you work with every day, that you give coffee to. Hey, do you want some coffee? Okay, I'll get you coffee. That is the one you should watch out for the most. Because that's the one that's going to snitch on you real quick. The one that you banter, you talk, there's no nothing. As soon as they stop liking you, I'm telling you, they will throw you under the bus. That's just the truth. And one of these things that I see is that when you do this sort of content, people say, oh, when you say that, oh, they will see you. What? Want to fire me? Yes, there's a tendency you can fire me. But you see, every time I see that we our principle, what gives us functionality in life is that we're constantly losing our principle as human beings. I'm standing on principle here. I don't care if my conversation makes you feel uncomfortable because you're Caucasian or because you're Middle Eastern, because you're African. I don't give a shit. I'm standing on based on principle. Do you know how many times I've seen people being lied on at work? So many times? A lot. And all you can see from there is that she doesn't like him for whatever reason. And bam, he's lost his job. Nah, that shit is gonna fly with me, man. No. Now, if the allegation was correct and you actually do it, then if you get fired, that's completely fine. What's up, eh? Thank you, appreciate. Because the thing is that I am not in a situation to trying to boo-boo people. I give you straight. I give it to you straight, unfiltered. Let's go to the next one that I have in mind. Where is it again? So be careful at work. Be extremely very, very careful at work. Don't get it twisted. The person that you work with every day, in fact, you can be sharing the same decks. The day she's stop liking you as an individual, I'm telling you, she will throw you under the bus real quick. And we know we live in a society that you have to believe everything a woman says. Women do not lie. Okay? All right, let's go to some video reaction. No? I'm not always a Debbie Downer, always. So, go back to the start of the live stream. Shout out to all those family that lost their kids. And I hope we get any sense of justice in this war. I don't want to show you. It's too gruesome for me. I'm not looking for clout and the misery of other people. I don't. I know these are the things that you need because you need a little more context to it. And this is one of the reasons why I've talked many times about the need of fathers at home. Because it's only when we have situations like this that people tend to want to listen to. Let me show you one of the things. Listen.
Fathers do this really important thing, which is they help the baby to learn to regulate certain emotions. So mothers help to regulate sadness, fear, distress. Fathers help to regulate excitement and aggression. So when fathers aren't in the house, when there are single mothers raising children without a father, often little boys develop behavioral problems, is what we're seeing, that they can't regulate their aggression because fathers help little boys in particular, but little girls too, to regulate aggression. So when fathers aren't around, you'll often see little boys who are more impulsive, who are more aggressive. So the answer is fathers and mothers are both critical to the development of children, which is a very controversial thing to say today.
Yes, it is very controversial to say that you need a father in the house. It is extremely very controversial for you to say you need a father in the house. Because you have this ideology today, for those who haven't had kids yet, they will give you that, I really don't think I need a man. Then you have the same kids, they will be the one using machete and using knife, unaliving people in the middle of the street. Right? You don't need fathers at home. You don't need fathers. Why should you need fathers? Fathers are not, Don't worry, AI is here now to make babies for you. So why would you even need men anymore? You just need to go to the sperm bank. There's an idiot there who is playing with his hand so much that he will leave one in a cup. They pay $150 for you. You just go there and deposit. Imagine you can make $150 in 5 minutes. Hi, it's good money, isn't it? This is a business for those who want to do it. And it needs to be good though. So this is one of those things a guy teach me once. You know, I'm very curious. I asked a lot of questions. I asked the guy, how do you do it? This guy looked for 5 centers. This boy. This guy looked for 5 centers. Because he's a big guy. He goes there and say, you want? Okay. I'll come Mondays. 5 clinic. Monday to Friday. Dress up, wear suit, look good, looks nice. Go there. They pay him $200 a pop. He goes there. If you're looking for side hustle, I'm giving you free game. Free game. Goes one, bam, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You pop one, 200. Pop one, 200. 200. 300. At the end of the week, $1,000 free money. You never learned that from me. I didn't tell you that. Okay? I didn't teach that at all. I'm just saying. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, $1,000. Bam. Free money. That's what this guy is doing for a job. And people don't know. They thought he goes to this. No, he just walk around in suit. He goes from one clinic to the other to go pop up some milk. Yeah. These are what this guy does for a living. And he's living well. I'm sure he has a lot of kids all over the world now. But like I said, people would do anything for money. All right? I've said it many times. If you really want to go viral in those world that we do today, these are the simplest thing you need to do. Be completely, utterly stupid. That's one. Number 2, you need to be controversial. Everything that people do the complete opposite. And I promise you, you get more fame when you've been hated more than when you've been loved. And people cash out on it too. Another one is that this one is bad. Number 1, have an opinion that people do not like and people are going to hate you for it. You can monetize it. The second one is that just be completely, utterly stupid to the core. People love stupidity. The third one, get naked. That's the game in 2025. If you're looking for the fastest way for you to make money, that's how you do it. Get naked on camera. Be completely, utterly stupid. And lastly, have an opinion that people hate you for. Oh, you make money real quick. Because misery, they say, it loves a lot of company. And there's a lot of people who are miserable out there. And they're looking for people to feed them more. When you're having a discourse in this sort of terms, people do not overly really like it very much because it alights. It's like I'm challenging a lot of people watching right now who's going to watch this later. Because I'm challenging them. I'm making them feel uncomfortable about what I'm talking about. They don't like this. I'm not going to get the kind of following that a guy who's busting the nuts, or if the whole world find out that I've impregnated 5-6 different women. Oh, they want to know. Even men want to know, bro, how are you doing it? Man, you got to give me the game. But unfortunately, this is exactly how people go viral in 2025. Okay? That's how you go viral. You don't go viral by being a nice guy. Nah. They're going to look at you funny. Because something is not right. This is what people do. People are going to look you funny because you know. Let's go to another one. All right. I've talked about work. I've talked about African community. Let me sprinkle something into it. Because it's been a long time I've done one of these long live streams. Let's talk about what's going on in France. I said this a couple of months ago. People thought I was being mean. And I'm telling you, the collapse of Europe is right here. And you can see it. Europe is about to completely collapse. And I promise you, nobody is coming to save them. They can only save themselves, but it's kind of too late because they've annihilated themselves against every other person. Italy is the next one that's coming. Then followed by Spain. All this economy, they're going to collapse. The economy they're going to depend so much is going to be Germany. You're going to see. The euro is going to spike up. Or it's going to go down. Because the economy strain, the strain that is going to put on what's it called? The strain that's going to put on Germany is going to be way too much. Because Germany cannot carry the entire Europe. All right? What happened again this week? Charlie Kirk. Okay? I don't want to talk about it because it's misery. It's a horrible situation. And I've watched a lot of videos about this. And I refuse to go back and look at what a lot of things that he said. But this is one of those concerns that I have. Like when I was in school, I was in debate school. So I did debate a little bit. So I understand how that might look like. See, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to ask you one question. Before you sit on your high horse with all your college degree on your wall and all your master's degree in your college kundala and all this nonsense, ask you just a simple question. Do you think you say stupid things sometimes? Do you think you say stupid things every time, actually? Do you think there's some things that you say that is actually completely stupid, but you believe in it so much, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. You believe it that for you, that is factually correct. Okay? Now, if that's the case, if you can admit that to yourself, you got to ask yourself another question. Do you think it deserves to be unalive like that? In the middle of the street, sitting down, talking to thousands of people, regardless of if you like or hate him. You see, our core as humanity, I'm questioning it every day because the value of life, we don't even value the value of life anymore. What life is, we don't value it anymore. And you will be the same person that would chastise something about something else. You know what? Let me actually do this today because it's been sitting on my mind. I think I have a prompt for this one. Yeah, man, let's just do this live stream today, man. Let me just do it. So you enjoy it. If you like what you're doing, follow and subscribe. Don't be stingy with your fingers. Okay? Follow and subscribe. At least you can do that. Follow and subscribe. Don't be stingy with your fingers. I think I did. No. Did I delete it? That was silly. Okay, I created something in regards to this. Let me check this one. Because I created some things about this conversation. See, America as a country. America, where are you? You guys know I'm not a big fan of America at all. I'm not. And I'm not saying this because I'm looking for people to get mad. I just want to say, I have one question to ask fellow Americans. Where are the American people? Please, algorithm, send this to Americans. Let them come in. Let me ask you a question. A very simple question. Question number one. When are you all going to go out there and protest to say that you don't want no more guns, no more pew-pew in your community? When? Is it NRA or whatever they call them? When are you guys going to actually go out there and protest that there's no more pew-pew in the street? When? Because it's the same common denominator that happens. There's this man that I want to listen to. So we're going to do a little political deviation. We're going to, I think I downloaded it, right? Oh, no. Oh, okay. I think I remember what I did. Silly me. I'll get it out. I want to play this just one man. He's a comedian. And he seems to be a good man because I've seen some of his video. He laughs a lot. He talks a lot of good sense, basically a lot of good game. Let me bring you the video. I'll download the video to show you. Because Americans, I want to ask you questions because you guys can't wait to jump to call yourself the best countries in the world. All right? And when are all your professors, because you guys talk a lot about world economy, you know everything about everything. You can say this, you can say that. So I want to ask you guys a question. Respectfully. The question I wanted to know is that when are you guys going to how do you call it? When are you going to go into the street and start protesting that you don't want no more guns in your community? All right? Because it doesn't make any sense. You know, I've been finding out that just this year alone, ladies and gentlemen, there's been over 15,800 and something people that have been unalive from guns. There's been over 15,000 people being unalive, including Charlie Kirk, this year alone. You see what I mean? The value of life in our society today doesn't mean squat. It's just like a number on the wall. You don't really care. This is why the only thing that people do a lot of time is just talk and freaking talk and talk. The lawmakers have their own reasons why they want to do what they want to do. They don't care. They don't. They've never cared. They will never care. Because why? If they solve it, then it doesn't make money. I don't understand why Americans can't get this. You guys, you're like a sitting duck, like Charlie Kirk was. Because the guns there move the economy. And they've programmed it into your psyche that you need one. Because you shouldn't trust your fellow neighbor that lives one door close to you, because he too can go psycho. He has that same mentality too. So that's why he has pew-pew. Just in case someone will come into his home and trying to take something that doesn't belong to him. This is the thing that I seriously do not understand. For me, when I completely lost it for America was, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. There was a shooting in a primary school, ladies and gentlemen. Kids were being unalive, ladies and gentlemen. Kids were being unalive in the middle of the street. And sorry, in the school. I think it was about 14 or 16-year-old boy went to do it. One of the celebrity actors went to that and he was pouring out his eyes. And I just want to say, after that day, nothing. It was the same old thing. Nothing has changed at all. That was when I completely lost it. Like, you guys will never get it. Because nobody really gives a shit about what is happening in a kid's life. Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. Huh? The life of people doesn't mean shit. And if I ever see any of those so-called educated people, yeah, I can't wait. If I see any of those idiots come online and start talking out of their ass, I swear to God, I'm going to insult you like you've never been insulted before. Yes, I said Americans, when are you guys going to actually go into the street and actually protest properly? Talk to them that, listen, we don't want PPU anymore. There's been over 50, I'm probably till this morning, there's going to be another 500 or 300 already. There's been over 15,000 people that have been unalive from PPU in America. When are you guys going to get into your medulla oblongata that you need to take it off your streets? Even police, for them to even have PPU, it needs to be extremely necessary. When are you going to get it to your head? Every other place in the world is adopting that style. How come America is not? Because they're making money from it. Every time you see any problem that you have in this world that is not getting solved, it's because there's been a lot of money being made from it. So why would they want to solve it? Your problem is not meant to be solved. Your problem is meant to be extended. They can drag it. This is why nothing has changed. This is why America, it is the way it is. This is why sometimes when I look at all those all these their news, their podcast, they always come across like they're so smart. Oh, you know, they know how to use all this word mumbo jumbo. Man, It's just common sense. It's not even common anywhere over there. Get the damn pew-pew off your streets. Ban it everywhere in your country. Number one, take that access to weaponry. You can take it away first. That's number one. The next thing is any other kind of, you're not supposed to have any kind of thing that could take a life. You shouldn't be walking around with it. It's only in America say, man, you strapped? Oh, yeah. You see people going to restaurant, walking around with PPU. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Something that you can accidentally even put your hands in your own pocket. You can lock it all you want. What if you forgot? You can pop your own leg. Do you know how many people who've shot themselves walking around with it? This is why American culture, it doesn't. You guys, let me share you my perception and the things that I've seen. And when we talk about America, how we reacted is that people tend to just laugh. You guys are amusing. If we were bored, we just can't wait to listen to some news in America. Oh, man, shit. Yeah, what happened in America again? Oh, shit. I'm not telling you to run away from your home, but what you guys need to focus on is that you guys need to actually go. Don't protest. Listen, hurt their bottom line. The world moves around where the money goes. Money is the number one influence in this world today. Okay? Every time there's a disaster anywhere else in the world, there are people who are making a fortune. Billions and trillions of dollars being made. Follow the money. If you think your society is bad as it is, figure out who are the people that is being allocated to fix the problem that you have. There's a lot of conversation about housing crisis here in Australia. We've talked about it many times. I've shared my own many times. Why there's a housing crisis in a country whereby the entire population of Australia, we only dominate 4.5% of the land mass. So it's not like there is no space to build a house. It's not like there's not enough community to build a house. You gotta ask yourself, why is not? I'm taking a shot. I'm just saying. Because it doesn't make money. The government will need more money, because if they spend all that money to create all those houses, how are they going to get their money back? Because if you choose you don't want to work now, what are they going to do? They just build all those houses. And there's a lot of technology now. If China can build a train station in 9 hours, I know they have a more large population, but they have the technology. At least let's say China had 1,000 something, I think, is it 15,000 workers they did on the train station? Okay, let's say they have 15,000 and it took them 9 hours. Let's say you only have 20. Let's multiply that. How long is it going to take you? 6 months? 7 months? But yeah, sometimes we see sitting after 20-something months. They haven't even built a road. How do you think we're going to even build a house for homeless people? That's another problem Australia has again. Anytime there's a problem in our society that is not getting done, it's because that problem is not generating more money. You got to understand, this is how the world works. Money first. Anytime there's a crisis anywhere in the world, ask yourself, who are the people that have been assigned to fix that problem, number one? Then think, second thing in your head. Think, okay, when you say go and fix the problem, you're going to be funded to fix the problem. Where does the money go to? How is the money being allocated? How is the money being managed? These are the questions that we don't tend to ask most of the time. And it's not that we're stupid. We're not stupid at all. We're actually complete opposite. We've never been stupid. You understand? We've never been stupid, and we're never going to be stupid. Let me see if I can download this video. This is the guy that I was talking to you guys about. You know what? I don't want to play it. Because once I play it, now it's going to trigger a lot of things. The algorithm will start looking for me again. Because there's a country that you don't call your name. Once you call your name, a lot of things doesn't work. You won't get they won't push your video to the right people to see it. So I'll leave them alone. If you as an African, if you think your life is about to be squeezed, I promise you, squeezed in a whole different way. Well, let's move forward. So, what's the time? It's almost 2 hours. Now I got 20 minutes of you. Now let me rant now. Say, Lex, you've been ranting already. No, I just want to rant now. See, let's finish this live stream today I want you to think like a human being for once. Put down your phone. Just listen. I know you've heard this billion times. There's a lot of content creators in the world. There's so many of us. People who talk a lot. They talk, but there's no action behind it. I want you to put down your phone. And I want you to start thinking. For once, have a conversation with your wife, your girlfriend, your auntie, your mom, your dad. Sit face to face, eye to eye. Put the phone away, less distraction, and actually have conversation. Be completely, utterly honest with yourself. And now I want you to ask this question along the line is that, what do we think the next 5 years is going to be in the world? What actions are we going to take when various situation happens? During that conversation, you can have, you can build something that people really struggle to do. Building community needs to start from inside and extend outside. But unfortunately, there's one virus that we have in this world. This is our virus, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is a virus, and we don't even understand it. We get affected every day because it gives us a lot of dopamine. Okay? It's crazy sometimes when you go out sometimes. Just put your phone away. And be in the present, talk to someone, have conversation. Actually see what their skin looks like. What they really sound like. Be in the moment. See, people think being in the moment is that you need to go jump on a mountain Kilimanjaro, and that's what people think being in the moment. Being in the moment is actually stay talking to someone. But unfortunately, a lot of people struggle to do it. If you take anything for this long live stream, I want you to just understand every problem that we have in this world today that is not getting fixed. It's not because of that there is no solution to it. It's because it doesn't regenerate more money. That is why we're whinging, we're complaining, we're struggling. Then what do we do about it? We need to get out of the mindset of being a consumer. We need to get into the mindset of a creator. We all naturally have skills and ability to think outside the box. The great version of us is in our head. But many of us can't get to that potential because we sit in a mind frame that we're still looking for something to tell us that it's okay for us to think or to do something. Life shouldn't be this hard or extremely difficult because you haven't really get out of your own comfort zone and out of your own head. Is that you get out of it or you tap right back into it? The what is it today the way it is because it's not just by design, it's by our own actions too that we take. A lot of the things that we do comes from what we get in today. So the question I want to ask you is that before the live stream over is that thinking is not illegal yet to think. When you think, don't think as a selfish individual. Think extending yourself. Think beyond yourself. Look at the world from the perspective is that what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I'm not doing, what does it benefit and what doesn't benefit. I'm talking right now is because I think my words can reach to one person, just one. And hopefully that word can influence that person to reach out to one person. I'm not looking for 500 billion followers. But the fact is that we need to get to the point in our lives that we need to understand the what it is the way it is because we chose it to be so. Agreed? Selfish needs, desire to survive, all of these factors into it. Then we use education No, I mean, whatever college. No, it's just nonsense. So, if anything you're gonna take from this, I know I'm like roller coaster everywhere, but I know you get the gist of what I'm trying to talk about. I never came here to tell you that I know it all. Like I always say, thinking is not illegal.
Do me a favor.